Hey guys, how's it going? Today is Saturday, April 13th, 2024. This afternoon, I'm gonna switch the tractors out on the feed mixer. We had the 2290 on here for quite a few months here as I was doing work to the 2090. Give it a little bit of break and had some work to do to it. It's now ready to get put back on the feed mixer. That's what it's always used for. It makes a pretty good feed mixer tractor. It's just about the right size. So we use it because we like using the 2290 to make hay and stuff. It's turbocharged, so it's got a little more power than what the 2090 does. And it's also got bigger tires on it, which makes a smoother ride. Another reason we're actually taking the tractor off the mixer is because we're getting new tires put on. As you can see, the old Firestones are starting to give up on us after 20 some long years. They're finally, sidewalls are finally got some slices in them there, and they're gonna give out here one of these days. So before that happens, we're gonna get new tires put on it. It's not difficult at all to switch the tractors around. You just got your pin, just jack it up, pull your pin out, and then just power take off 4 remotes. And then we have the power cable here to hook up for run the scale here. That goes up alongside the tractor and ties into the battery there. We'll have to switch this over to the 2090 then. Grab the 2090 here. I got the wiring for the scale all switched over to this tractor. So should be ready to go. There we have it. He's back on the mixer. Looks pretty good. Hey guys, what's happening? It's Tuesday, April 15th here. This evening, working on a couple different things here after milking. My dad, we got the 870 and the 3-point hitch this mower out of the shed. My dad's doing a little bit of mowing with that. We had a couple things to do to that. We had to put a new blade on and grease it and whatnot. And I'm gonna work on washing this 2290 up. Do you remember here at the beginning of the video I said we were gonna get new rear tires put on it? I'd like to get it washed up. It was on the mixer there. It's pretty dirty, so before we get new tires put on, I'd like to get it cleaned up a little bit. And I also have to get through and service it. I usually like to keep the tractors pretty clean if I can, but as you can see, the tractor sitting over there is not clean because it has a floater on it and it's constantly getting used. So that's the next one there on the list. I have to get the loader taken off and get it cleaned up, get through and service it. But right now we got this tractor to do. We gotta go through and spray the tractor down with water first, get all this mud moistened, and then go through and foam it, and then that'll continue to loosen all that mud up. We'll let it sit for a little bit. Then the final step will be to go through and pressure wash it all clean. At some point it's gotta get waxed, and I'd like to repaint this hood here in the future, but that's it's another project down the road. It's not gonna be one of them right now things. got that tractor soaking. You don't really realize how dirty stuff is till you usually start washing, but man, that tractor was dirtier than I expected. All the oil and stuff on the rear end there from hooking and unhooking hydraulics, all that kind of stuff. Soap should cut a bunch of that stuff down and it'd be easier to spray it off. Dad and I just put this tunnel on the corn planter here this evening. We had taken it off and sanded it down and repainted it. It was burnt in the fire. The paint was burnt off. It was all black, covered in soot and that from the tractor burning. You know, all the stuff from all the rubber from the tires and all that. The thing was completely black. So the best thing for it was just to sand it down to good metal, put some primer on it, then put a good couple coats of paint on it. Looks pretty good. It's a lot shinier than the rest of the corn planter, but it's better than what it looked like before. Got it all cleaned up, looks pretty good. It's not your most detailed wash, but it's better than what it was when I started. Some time I'd have to get through here, and I could buff a lot of this rust out, a lot of the surface rust. I did that on the 2090 and it turned out really good. And then I'd like to take the hood off the tractor and sand it down and repaint it, put new decals on it here sometime this summer. And the tractor needs a cab kit. The air condition don't work. I'd like to get the air condition fixed and then put a cab kit in here eventually. Right now I got to pull down the milk house and hose all this mud out here. If you don't keep it clean, it just rusts the floor out down in here. So we'll do that quick. Got it all cleaned out here. Just took the hose and hosed all the mud out. It's pretty good there. Gotta get this thing in the shop here sometime. I was kind of thinking maybe I should, depending on how soon we get new tires put on here, might paint the rims on the back. They're originally silver, but it's down to rust there now. It is now Saturday here. The other evening I pressure washed this 2290, and a couple days later I got the rims painted up on the back here. See, they look pretty good. They'll look even better once we get the new tires put on. But that's what color they were originally. They were silver on this tractor, but on the 2090 they were solid orange, both the rim and the center. The front wheels are actually the same way on this tractor. So this part here was silver at one time, but the paint had flaked off and now it's just down to orange. And this here part was orange, and then from here out was silver. But I was gonna paint the front the way they used to be, just like I did the back, but this side over here actually has a rim that's off of the 2090. So this wheel here was off of the 2090 a while ago. They had somehow gotten switched, never got switched back out. So the 2090 has a rim off of this tractor, and the 2290 has a rim off of the 2090. It's not really a big deal, but I think I'm not gonna paint them just for now. If we ever get them switched back over in the future, I'll probably paint them up, but I don't really want to paint the one on the 2090 if it's not supposed to be silver, because if that rim ever gets put back on that tractor, the tractor will have one silver rim and the other one won't be silver. It just won't match. But that's not too big of a deal. You're not gonna really notice the front ones like you do the back. And it's still smoky in here. I had the tractor running, got to change the oil, and I had started it up just to let the oil warm up a little bit so it drains out a little easier. And I had it shut off and was letting the air circulate through here to get the fumes out, but it's still pretty bad. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get the oil dropped out of this thing. I changed the oil in this here, I think it was back in the winter time, and it was on the mixer there for a while, so it got quite a few hours racked up on running the mixer there. So I'm just gonna give it a fresh oil change. Not gonna hurt it. While that oil is draining out, I'll go ahead and loosen the filters up and change them out. On this one, I pre-filled the filters before I stick them on. That way, whenever you're cranking it over for the first time, whenever you change the oil, it's not dry starting. It's a little bit better for the engine. Some tractors, if the filters sit upside down, you can't do that, but this one here, they're upright, so that's why I do it. Usually snug the filters by hand first, and then take the filter wrench and tighten them a little more. You don't want to over tighten them, that it crushes the seal, but we also don't want them to potentially vibrate loose and we lose the oil. So kind of want a happy medium there, not too tight but tight enough. Already put oil back in it. It's still draining a little bit there, so I'm going to go ahead and change the transmission filters here quick. Got the old transmission filters out, got the new ones here. Go ahead and slide them in. They just slide inside the tractor there, and then there's this here nut that you screw on there to tighten them down in there. These are both your transmission and your hydraulic filters, so all the oil eventually makes its way through there and gets filtered out. But there's a drain plug here at the bottom. You drain the oil out of there, there's a separate compartment here for the filters, and then the oil that you get out of there usually has some dirt or some cuttings or something in there. It's junk, so you get rid of that, and then start the tractor up and fill this back up and then top the oil off. Got the transmission all taken care of. Now I just need to put the drain plug back in for the engine oil here. It's done draining. Put some Lucas Oil stabilizer in here, and we'll put 1540 in. Maintenance on these tractors is fairly simple, so if you keep them maintained and take care of them, they last a long time. I know these old cases, they don't have a very good reputation, but if you treat them good, they'll treat you good. Got this tractor all finished up, engine oil's changed. I went ahead and spun 2 new fuel filters on. That's done, and transmission oil filters are changed, and I started the tractor up, topped both the hydraulic oil and the engine oil off. Last thing I need to do yet is grease the front end here. There's a couple grease fittings here. There's one here on your cylinder for your steering, and on each of your king pins here, and then in the middle for the axle pivots there's 2 grease fittings also, so we'll hit them, and then that should be about it for this tractor. That is gonna conclude this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the video, as always, hit that like and subscribe button down below. That really helps me out a lot. Won't be long here. We should be out in the fields, so hopefully next video will be something along the lines of field work. I'd imagine the videos are kind of getting boring. It's pretty much just maintenance, but it's still too wet to be doing any kind of chisel plowing or anything like that. So yeah. Alright guys, we'll catch you later. Have a good one.